Saturday. Christmas comes early.
Unbelievable! Welcome to this incredible scene.
Bills.
To the end zone!
Chargers.
It's a touchdown!
An exclusive NFL game.
That's fantastic!
Live in primetime.
Wow!
Only on Peacock.
With a Christmas gift to their fans.
They're having some fun now.
Bills versus Chargers. Saturday, 7:30 Eastern. Exclusively on Peacock.
This episode is brought to you by Google Pixel, the official fan phone of the NBA and WNBA. The new Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro are built different. How? Take the Audio Magic Eraser tool. It helps block out distracting crowd noise so your play-by-play commentary sounds crystal clear. The only phone engineered by Google brings out the audio you care about so your videos sound as crisp as they look. Learn more at googlestore.com/pixelnba. Audio Magic Eraser requires Google Photos app. May not work on all audio elements.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. From your morning podcast to your afternoon playlist, State Farm knows you personalize your entire day. And that's why State Farm helps you personalize your insurance with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It offers coverage options that help protect what you care about most at an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
This episode is brought to you by Columbia Sportswear. It's snowing again, and that wind chill is killer. But you're not worried about that because you shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection. It's warmth perfected with tiny gold dots that reflect your body heat inside and protect you from the cold outside. No snow or chilly temps can stop you now. Go out anyway. Shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection now at Columbia.com/infinity.
Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another episode of the Shades of Blue Soccer Show. We are the KC Soccer Journal. My name is Cody Bradley. Thad Bell, Robert Russert, and David Greenwald are here with me. 7th place is still on the table, boys. I'm feeling good about this. Colorado kind of saved us with a draw versus Dallas. David, don't shake your head at me. I'm being optimistic to start the pod. I'm on fire here. Don't trip me up. David, how are you feeling?
So you're feeling good about 7th place or the possibility of ending in 7th?
Man, after those first 10 games, I'll take 7th place at this point. I'm just looking for something to root for. The current season is over. We're going to get to that too. We've got the Pitch Black Awards, the Club Awards for the 2023 season. We're going to talk about all of that. But it is Decision Day week. We've got a big weekend coming up. Like I said, Colorado did us a favor with a 1-1 draw versus Dallas. So we are looking at Portland, Dallas, and San Jose. I got nervous about that. Portland, Dallas, and San Jose are our 3 chances at sneaking in here. David, why were you shaking your head at me to start this off? Are you not feeling good about our chances of sneaking into the playoffs?
You know, it may be that my boys' soccer team that I coach, the Hornets, got just crushed by the STP Turtles, and I'm just overall down on soccer right now.
Really cool names. I was mad that you were talking about your kids' team until I heard the names. Cool team names.
Yeah, we play the Dinos in our Decision Day. On Saturday. Yeah, you know, I feel, I don't know, the way I felt parts of the season, like sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Quality
Mostly
analysis.
Very concerned about, I mean, look, man, this team, like at their best plays great, and at their worst could probably get beat by like the 4 of us and a couple of our friends.
You talking about your kids' team or sporting here? I'm
Yes. I lost the track on that.
Yes.
So you feel like Vermees feels then, David. You've got an idea of what Vermees feels like.
Yeah, you know, I give them the tactics, and they're just, these 4-year-olds are not following through. You know, but when I blast them in the press conference, the parents get all mad.
Robert, if you can speak through your whining dog that has made yet another appearance on Shades of Blue. Tell me how
I'm here. I don't
feeling.
have to pay his fines this week.
Right. Yes. We're still waiting on that, I think, by the way. Robert, how are you feeling about where we're at right now?
You know, I'm feeling pretty good, and we'll talk about why later.
Okay.
But maybe I'm still on the high from Pitch Black on Friday night. But
we'll
feeling
get to
pretty
that.
good
Humble
about
brag.
this.
We'll get to that. He's already bragging about it. Robert was at Pitch
I'm not
Black.
bragging. I'm
We're
just
gonna-
saying, hey, that's why I'm on a high. Come on.
We're going to hear about all of that, but are we going to get into the playoffs is what I want to know right now.
We doing predictions tonight because I was kind of worried about that because at work I get blamed as being a jinx. I don't want to jinx anything tonight if we're doing predictions. So
Okay, Robert is opting out on a podcast. Thank you for the content.
I
Opt
said
out.
I'm feeling pretty good though.
Thad, who of those three teams is our best shot at getting in?
Can you name those three teams again? I dare you.
Portland, Dallas, and San Jose. Thank you for
I'll
that.
go with San Jose.
Okay,
And why?
thank you.
I've always disliked San Jose.
Did you forget we're doing a podcast right now? We're not just hanging out. I'm not just asking you how you're feeling right now. I'm looking for your expert opinion, your longtime Kansas City sportsman knowledge on this topic.
All right. So
Oh, here we go.
traditionally, I'm one of the more optimistic people, and I'm maybe trying to hedge that just a little bit, although I'm not going to use David's kids' team to be the downer because I'm totally amazed that this is what brings David down on the whole season is his kids' team. Not Sporting, not the Current,
No,
not
he
SKC2.
just checked
None
out
of
of
that.
he just checked out a
It
long
was
time
just
ago after
goal
the first 10
after
games.
Goal after goal. These kids, I didn't see a single birth certificate, but I swear at least one of them was like 36. I think Roger might have been out there. It was insane. Look,
Did any
I
of them
think-
get two-footed tackled?
No, Thad didn't say his yet. I want to hear Thad's expert
Oh,
opinion.
He said San Jose.
Well, I know, but he was going in. He was warming up into a larger thing
sorry.
there.
Well, I think you overestimate me much like we did our teams.
I'm trying to gas my guy up.
No, I just go with San Jose because traditionally they've been bad. Dallas kind of has been up and down.
Except for that draw
And-
versus
What do you mean
Colorado.
Dallas has hit the shitter
Yeah,
recently?
I thought
Come on,
I
man.
thought Dallas was the one that was doing bad. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're right. You're right. I just kind of like historically, Dallas kind of screws us more than San Jose does. San Jose has just historically been the one that's always been bad.
Yeah.
Portland's been kind
True
of in
that.
the middle.
You're so
So
right.
I'm just
about
kind of
that.
going more history than the last couple months in this regard.
San Jose is always bad. I know they're in front of us on the table right now, and you can show me some numbers that might prove otherwise, but San Jose is always bad at soccer. Don't
Yes.
at me.
Well, they're hosting Austin, so that's not exactly a good situation for us.
Austin will do us a favor, right?
Will they?
I don't know. There are two teams in
They have
the.
nothing to play for.
There are two teams
Right.
doing well.
Neither did Colorado.
Yeah. Although I thought
Galaxy
about-
have nothing to play for either, and they're hosting Dallas. So
But Portland has to play Houston, and Houston has a lot to play for. They're playing for playoff seeding.
yes.
right.
So,
So what are the
Houston
odds
is-
that they actually do that?
So, I mean, Houston could get as high as second. They would need some things to break their way to do that. But, you know, I would expect Houston to come out and actually try to win the match and get all 3 points too. They could hop Seattle pretty easily with a result. And if Seattle drops points, and then, you know, with LA, it just depends. If LA were to lose and Houston wins, depends on the goal differential, but they could hop as high into second. They're going to be a tougher matchup for Portland than I think LA or Austin will be for Dallas or San Jose.
Yeah, Portland is the one I'm looking at. That Portland versus Houston game. Not that Houston is known for helping us out either, like in the same way Dallas never has. But yeah, I'm looking at that Portland game too. But as optimistic as I always am, I think I'm just looking at how this season has gone, and that the soccer gods are just not looking upon us this year. I have a hard time really getting myself up for this because I feel like we're going to win the game and everyone else is going to get their wins. And I'm very nervous about that. It just seems like, would that not feel about right for how this season has gone?
Definitely. That's probably why I'm trying not to be too optimistic at the moment. Is it just feels like if it could go wrong, I could see every result go against us. All draws or all the wrong teams win, and Sporting sitting there could do an amazing game, destroy Minnesota 9-0, and still not get in.
Or we could also lose 9-0. Because we haven't mentioned that yet. Minnesota is in the exact same boat as we are. Same points, same chance to leapfrog into 7th place. But they're on the road. They're coming into the blue hell, David.
Of course, Minnesota's been better on the road.
Yes, they have.
Here's the nice part, is that both teams have to win. Neither can just settle in and play for a draw. So it might be good or it might be bad, but it hopefully will be very entertaining.
So 10th minute red card for a Sporting player. We have to fight from behind the entire game and like hope for a 92nd minute winner.
Who gets the red card?
Starting midfielder.
Just placeholder.
Yeah.
Placeholder starting midfielder will get a red card.
Felipe Gutierrez, I don't know.
Mark that down. I don't know what that bet is.
Oh, he's starting? For. Oh, God.
He meant Felipe Hernandez.
Well, I would like to. I'm going to take that opportunity to transition here into actually talking about the Minnesota game this weekend. Who is healthy? What will the lineup be? Are we at full strength, or do we make it to the final game of the season before we were finally full strength-ish? I know there's still a couple out, but ish. Full strength-ish, Thad?
I believe they'll be as close as possible because Fonte missed the last game, Rosero came out, and last week they were both in practice, so I would expect them both to be available. I can't think of anybody else who Leibold he had an injury. I didn't see him in practice last week. We haven't went to practice yet this week. So, I mean, he would be potentially still out, but Logan's been playing pretty well at left back.
Is it really just Caden Pierre? Excuse me. Damn it. I tried that before we got on. That's a fine. Robert, you're fine for your dog, too. I know, but I was in the middle of the sentence there. So we're looking at Caden Pierre and Graham Zusi, or is Zusi back now?
Zusi's back and available. He almost came in a couple of games ago. They had him up and ready to come in, but they decided to leave Kyrie out for the heading ability.
Okay, well,
his vaunted heading ability.
Right. That since you gave a placeholder a few minutes ago, we gave you time to think about it. Who is your midfield 3 for this game?
Radoya, Voltaire, and Tommy.
Okay, yeah, I think me too.
Gotti has still never been 100, starter healthy. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to see if he's what he's doing now. But I could see those 3 starting.
The midfield really is at this point, kind of really the only question on what the lineup is going to be. Robert, do you agree with that? What's your midfield 3?
Yeah, for sure. I think they're also the most, sporting, industrious type of midfielders that we're going to need in a game like this, where it's going to be tight and it's going to take, effort might win out over skill here, possibly. So I like that midfield for sure.
David, who are you playing? I mean, I'm just going to assume you're putting in Zusi on the outside back, right? Just pencil in for that one.
That's right. That's exactly right. Look, I mean, the back 5 is going to be the same as always. And I agree with Thad and Robert that it's got to be Radoya and Remy and Eric Tommy in the midfield. And the reason I say so is that tactically, you have to have people who can help shut down, or at least try to shut down, Emmanuel Reynoso. And the best opportunity for us to do that is to have Remy and Radoya in, because they're a little bit more defensive minded. Remy can play that kind of destroyer role. He's going to cover a ton of ground, and hopefully help kind of keep Reynoso bottled up. But if you were to play Tommy and Gotti, or if you were to play Gutierrez, I'm not sure that they've got the range and defensive ability to really bottle up Reynoso.
Robert, you watched Minnesota's last game, correct? I did not actually watch that. What are we expecting from Minnesota? They've got a new coach. They're reeling at the moment. What can we expect from them?
Yeah, I mean, it was the first match without their head coach, after they'd fired him. So a 5-2 victory over the Galaxy. So you were talking about the midfield. They play a 4-2-3-1. So right away, we're already outnumbered in the midfield, though the 4-3-3 obviously is fluid, and I'm sure that will be a point of discussion this week. And, David's talking about bottling up Reynoso, which is important, but tell you what, guys, their front four, you've got Pukki, you've got Reynoso, you've got Iguane, and you've got Dotson. All of them are talented one-on-one players.
Yeah.
And if you remember the last game that we played them, save of the year that was awarded Friday night was Milia's save in that game that he had to come up big. They had many opportunities in the front that we just cleared out or they missed. Their XG was higher than ours. We escaped that win.
We're very susceptible to, just like you said, those individual talents, the individual dribblers. That just seems to really, really kill us when the time comes to it.
Well, how many times Fontes got beat 1v1? I lost count.
Yeah.
So did he.
We're in such a system of when the ball goes there and when the pass goes there, you move here. And then all of a sudden a guy comes at you with fancy feet and does something you weren't expecting. Then our defenders are out of place. And they just really need to beat one guy. And then they're in the position to do something.
Yeah, Minnesota, when they, we attack a lot to width, right? Minnesota's, their wide backs, they cut in more often. They open up the field, see more of the field, and their runners up front, Pukki, Reynoso, Iguane, are really good at finding the open space in those situations. And they're a little more creative in the box than we are. If you want to look at the stats, just about every stat shows that Minnesota has been more effective at creating chances in the box. Their shot distance is the 19th most in the league, and meaning they're closer. Sporting Kansas City shot distance is the third most in the league. So that shows a big difference that they get a better job of getting chances in the box. Their shots per in the penalty area are fourth in the league overall. We're 13th. So there are more I could list out here, but Minnesota does a really good job of creating opportunities in the box, and that's where we can be susceptible. So I think it's Fontes and Rosero are going to be the most important defenders here instead of Davis and Ndenbe because of the way that Minnesota plays.
So I have a question, Robert. If their front four is so good, and I know Reynoso wasn't there the entire season, why do we have the exact same amount of goals?
It's not the exact same amount of goals.
It's not?
Or is it expected goals is what
goals
I was looking
for
at.
is 45 and 45.
I was looking at expected goals as far as that number goes.
Dad, we have Polito.
Dotson also has been recovering all year from an ACL that he experienced last year. So
and we were missing Polito and Kenda. So I mean, there's and I know they won their last game, but the 7 games before that was winless. So I mean, it's I'm just saying, like, I don't want to like build them up as like, oh, they were the best forwards.
Oh no, they're not, obviously.
I'm just trying to balance a little bit there for sporting side. Sorry.
Maybe not.
I was just showing them how they're different than we are as far as attack goes, for sure. And we're both susceptible on the counter. That's how LA created a lot of opportunities, actually. Only put away 2 of them because they, like we do, Minnesota pushes a lot of numbers forward. So then again, we have scored this many goals, 0 on the counter this year. Minnesota scored 6.
Teemu Pukki, top tier name in MLS. I don't know if they do MLS season awards like the Pitch Black Awards, but he's got a shout for best name in the league.
They do MLS season awards, yes.
Is best name one of them? Because it's a travesty if not.
I don't think so. I will have to double check though. I am a voter for it.
So one other stat I'll throw out there, set pieces, of course, as we know, are big in games like this, playoff games, any game. We're pretty even on set pieces, which I was surprised by, actually.
That is surprising.
Yeah.
Minnesota does lead in coaches replaced against Sporting.
Right.
Yeah, but depends on where you're looking at that from, because a lot of fans might think they're actually leading in that category by replacing a coach.
What's funny and interesting is at least twice now I've heard people ask Vermees about Minnesota or about Adrian Heath, and he's very much went on the defending Adrian Heath, saying he should not have been fired. I'm like, yeah, probably would want to say that considering you have essentially the same record.
The coaches union, like the keepers union.
Yep.
The holidays are a time to feel and create joy. And what could be more joyous than the look on her face as she unwraps a stunning new jewelry piece from Blue Nile? How about getting 50% off your purchase? Blue Nile offers premium quality, priced below traditional retail. Their online experts are available 24/7 to answer any questions and make sure you've picked the perfect gift. For a limited time, you can get 50% off at BlueNile.com. That's 50% off at BlueNile.com.
Reboot your credit card with Apple Card, the credit card created by Apple. It gives you unlimited daily cash back that you can now choose to grow in a high-yield savings account that's built right into the Wallet app. Apply for Apple Card now in the Wallet app on iPhone and start growing your daily cash with savings today. Apple Card subject to credit approval. Savings is available to Apple Card owners subject to eligibility requirements. Savings accounts provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC. Terms apply.
All right, let's move it along to the 2023 Club Awards that were at the Pitch Black event. Robert, did you go to this black tie affair? Were you wearing a tuxedo? Did you have your pinky out? Was there champagne flowing? Tell me about this lovely evening.
Tuxedo? No. Come on, Cody.
Missed opportunity there.
I'm cheap. Come on, man.
Do you own a tuxedo?
Oh, hell no. No. But it was a little different. I don't know if you guys have been to it before, but usually the dinner is on the pitch. Usually the after party is in the fancy bar by the press room, right?
Is he about to complain here about this event?
No, I'm just saying that was different.
Okay.
So we walked in. The members club is where you entered, and there's this massive round gold thing with this girl standing up in the middle of it and champagne all around her. That was interesting. So the cocktail hour was on the field, and the first thing I walk up to is Peter and Diego and Gina Gutierrez, all friends of the pod, right? Mm-hmm. And they're telling old MLS stories about back in the day, what things were like. And Peter was just in a great mood, laughing and everything. So it was great to see him that way. So that was a lot of fun. But no, every player, like we know, is just so welcoming and great to talk to. There are a few guys who, not as willing to get involved and talk with fans or anybody else who was there. But, Roger and Lowe, they were a lot of fun to talk with.
Name some names.
Other guys.
Who are our socially awkward people here?
I think some of the guys are pretty new. Like,
oh, yeah, the younger guys.
Tim Leifeld. He kind of, just kind of faded off. Polito was kind of just doing his own thing. Let's see who else. Remy is not exactly, even when you interview him, he's not exactly an outgoing personality when it comes to that, though he is an outgoing person.
Wait a second. So, Polito was not drinking all of this in? I figured Polito was just in top form at this event. What was he wearing?
To himself.
What was Polito wearing? Describe it to me.
Let's see. I actually have a picture, so let me pull that up. But other thing I want to mention. You guys
laughing at that? Is that weird that I want to know what Polito wears?
The other thing I want to mention was Roger's suit.
Oh, Roger looked good. Roger's a good dresser.
Style battle on the night.
Really? Good job, Roger.
Wearing like this goldish red suit.
Ooh, good color.
Styling. Of course, he had Lowe next to him, and Lowe was a lot of fun to talk with.
She makes him look better too. That's kind of cheating with Lowe next to him.
All right, so
I want to make sure though. Are you going to send these pictures to Cody so he can put them in the article for the pod?
Just very excited about this.
I can if that's what he would like.
I like dressing up. I haven't worked in an office in a long time, so I don't get to dress up anymore. I miss fancy gatherings like this.
You bragged about going to a fancy gathering 3 weeks ago on the podcast.
Oh, I did. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, that was a very good evening. One of the only nights the Liberty Memorial is open up top. It was a great view. Good night that was.
Do you have a tuxedo?
No tuxedo. Where is an actual, a man in Kansas City, Missouri in the year 2023, where would a man wear a tuxedo? Besides if he's getting married.
Pitch Black.
Somebody else's wedding.
See,
Kaufman Center.
Robert missed an opportunity there for a tuxedo. It's rare, is what I'm saying. But even if you're in the wedding, aren't groomsmen are just often in nice suits, right? Or are those always tuxedos?
Mine weren't.
Or they rent them.
Well, see, David, you're a classy man. That's what I keep you around for, David.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You should run for office.
Yeah, good idea. Okay, back to Polito. He's got a dark jacket on, white shirt. How many buttons do you think were unbuttoned for Polito?
6.
Oh, I was gonna say all
shirt.
of them. I figured it was just white tee and the open blazer.
3.
Okay.
3. So, you know.
That
he was
typically
looking
gets you down to
suave.
mid-chest.
Yeah, he was looking suave. But I tell you what, it was funny on the awards. And we'll talk later about who won what, but I'll have to ruin one. Zuzi got an award, and Bucati's like, so how about a speech, Graham? And Graham was like, of all the people who've gotten awards, I'm the only one you're going to ask to make a speech.
We can go right into the awards. What did sorry, yeah, go ahead. What about Bucati?
Bucati, another friend of the pod, gave a rousing speech to the audience about how everybody needs to be there supporting the team come this Saturday night, and how we've got this large opportunity coming up that we can really make a name for soccer in Kansas City. Not only that, but for the World Cup. So Bucati did a great job. So
Graham Zusi won the Humanitarian of the Year award.
Right.
Public speaking award.
Graham Zusi, I don't believe, has ever won an award for that, but he is a hell of a humanitarian. That's what we keep him around for. Robert, what were the other winners that you saw on this evening? Want to go down the list?
Well, I had a really bad seat at the corner to see actual stage, but of course, we saw all the winners. But
was there a player at your table?
No, they don't have a player at every table. If you sponsor the event, then your table has a player at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll look into that for the KCSJ.
Exactly. But the other thing was, and I have to brag, Remy was the skee ball champion in the members club afterwards, because that's where the dancing and band part was, and the band was terrible.
So you're bragging for Remy?
Yeah, Remy. I walked up there and, in line to play, and Remy turns to me. He's like, all right, you ready to take me on? I was like, sure. So, we're doing a thing here, and I'm not even paying attention to the score, right? But not everybody's gathered around. About 5 or 6 people are gathered around watching, all making these comments and everything, And I get done, and I look up. I'm like far ahead of Remy. He's holding 2 skee balls in his hand. But what does the board say? 1. He's got 1 shot left. So he takes his 1 shot. He inches a little bit closer. And he's got 1 ball in his hand, but it says 0 on the scoreboard. No shots left, right?
This got very dramatic.
So what does he do? He throws the ball, and he gets like 4,000 on it and beats me by 1,000. But
wow,
hey, I didn't cheat.
Wow, sounds like he just got a rebound at one point. He threw one so bad that it came back to him.
Something
Classic
like
move.
that, or he just started that way because he knew that he would need it.
I appreciate that in a player, though, that they take extra caution to make sure that they can cheat and get ahead. I appreciate that.
That'll come in handy Saturday night.
You need guys like that. Robert, why don't you run down the winners list for us? Who won most valuable player? There's really it's kind of boring. There's no questions on any of these. I guess maybe offensive player.
I think there's questions on a couple.
Okay.
Yeah, there probably is.
Okay.
Cody, you've got them right in front of you, so why don't you do it?
Okay, Alan Polito, should we give the sponsors here? Most valuable player presented by Audi was Alan Polito. No qualms there. Do we have any issues with this?
Yeah, I actually voted for somebody else.
Who you got?
I actually don't remember if I voted for Tommy or Voltaire.
Really, really strong answers you have with this. You have a lot of conviction in your answers. Okay, the offensive player. The offensive is how I'm going to say this. The most offensive player of the year was Eric Tommy. I don't know how
Presented
I feel
by
about
the
this.
Tim Milio Self-Defense Dojo.
Yes.
Shallowy actually was right up there in goal contributions, but Tommy did have more goal contributions than him. So it was close.
I would not have predicted at the beginning of the season that Eric Tommy was our offensive player of the year. Kind of disappointed.
He like led the league in shots. Like he had more shots than.
Well, yeah, because
like,
he does a lot.
Combined at one point.
Well, he just does too much sometimes. Like, of course, some of those shots were errant.
Yeah. Very well errant.
Like somebody shot in a media game? I don't know.
Yes, just like that.
So, defensive player of the year, brought to you by Logan Legs, was Jake Davis.
All right, Jake. Thad, you did end up voting for him?
I did vote for Jake, yes.
My protest with my unhappiness on the season was just that I decided to not vote. I didn't feel strong about any of these answers or how deserving anyone was, so I just didn't even vote.
But what was, again, kind of sad is that Jake Davis, who was thrust into the right back position, and Logan Ndembe, who really played, 2/3 of the season? I mean, half. I'm not sure how many games he played, but it was really the competition between those two to be the defensive player of the year because nobody else shined enough.
And what does that say, Thad?
That's what I'm trying to get to. That's kind of sad.
Which is why I didn't vote. Newcomer of the year. This one. Seemed...
Hold on.
Oh, so go
hold
ahead.
on.
Go ahead.
Presented by Sweat Be Gone. Thank you. Continue.
Damn, I'm sorry I stepped on your bit there.
I love it.
Danny Rosario was the newcomer of the year. I did like that one. He, as a center back on a team that got beat a lot, gets a lot of hate, but I do think Danny Rosario is a legit MLS player.
And he's legit the newcomer of the year because his competition was pretty missing.
Radoya, about the only other one.
Yeah, if Radoya would have played a handful of more games, then he might have the shout there. And I think some people forget that there are stretches. Of course, anyone on our team, like we talk about, at any moment we're susceptible of getting beat by an individual talent. But there were stretches where, in tight moments, every single time the ball came in the box, that Danny Rosario headed it away, cleared it away. He's been a big presence on the back line, not even to mention the presence on corner kicks and all of that. So yeah,
the whole back line's been a little inconsistent at times, but he has shined quite a bit for long stretches of time.
Yeah, I like me some Rosario. The goal of the year presented by.
I've forgotten some of our other sponsors.
I had a lot of confidence in you. I was just throwing it to you, but that's okay.
I know. I thought of all the good ones. Who are we forgetting?
Did we do Rogers red cards?
Oh yeah, Rogers red cards.
Goal of the year presented. That doesn't really make sense. Goal of the year presented by Rogers red cards. Was Eric.
It's the only donation tier he could make with all the fine money he has to pay. Is that the Eric Tommy goal? The screw it, I'll do it myself goal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was nice.
There was also, I said this at the time, there was a lot of, he was fortunate on that play. That was he was out of control, spinning around. Oh, I got past this one guy. And then all of a sudden everything opened up for him. And then, yes, he finished it brilliantly.
Left-footed as well.
You just don't like to give people credit, do you, Cody?
He's not a goalkeeper. Damn.
I know. I do really. It's a weird thing. I really like Eric Tommy, but sometimes I feel like people don't point out some of the things that I think need to be pointed out, or they ignore some of them. I don't know.
You just can't let people be happy.
Oh, I never feel that way about any player that people talk about.
I want all of our players to be happy. That I love Eric Tommy. There are some fair criticisms that we've heard Vermees make that, he does a little much. And on that goal of the year,
you've mentioned one of them twice.
he was doing a little much on that goal, and it just happened. Everything opened up in front of him, and he finished it perfectly.
So next category is Save of the Year, presented by Cody's Tree Huggers, Tim Melia.
Also, oddly, Newcomer of the Year and Save of the Year were without sponsors. Come on, sell that. Sales team, what are we doing here?
Well,
Goal of the
team that makes the playoffs is more marketable.
Thad, what was the save of the year from Tim?
Tim, Minnesota. Enough said.
Describe it. Relive
it.
It
was
for
spectacular. And it was real.
And it was real spectacular.
Okay. Golden Boot, Alan Pulido. Humanitarian of the Year, Graham Zusi. Sporting KC 2, most valuable player was Lucas Rosa. How do you feel about that, Thad?
Yeah, I'm good with that. He was good outside back. A guy who honestly would have a chance in MLS if he had come out, if he was a wee bit. I'm not saying he doesn't have a chance in MLS, but he would definitely have a better chance in MLS if he was like a couple years younger, because he's like 25. So you're probably not going to get your first call up to an MLS team at 26. But yeah, you never know. The last time I saw, he was still practicing with Sporting last week. So you never know.
Cody's back. Hey, look at you.
What happened? I was talking that whole time. What do you mean?
So was I,
bro. You froze.
Yeah, you froze, so I just started filibustering.
Oh, well, good job. Thank you for that. I bet you did a wonderful job. I'm going to have to
So,
edit.
Thad, what do you think of Natty Clark as the choice?
Well, I think it's an odd choice since it's the Academy Player of the Year, and he's played precisely 4 Academy games in the last year. Okay, I don't know the exact number, but it's very few because he played with the Academy in a couple of those tournaments. But the rest of the time he played with SKC2, so he's still on an Academy contract. So yes, he's still an Academy player, but he is a guy who grew a lot with SKC2. I was having questions about him last year and early this year, but he continued to get better. He showed a lot of growth. Benny commented on how much he grew in confidence and ability, not height. And anyway, he's another guy that if they're looking for somebody who can be probably a dual purpose outside back and cheap, you could maybe see him come into a contract next year or the year after. I think the year after.
See, this is what I was saying while I was a ghost, apparently. This is another one of those awards like Defensive Player of the Year. Very happy for Lucas Rosa for all of those reasons you just said. Great season, well done. But it also is kind of a condemnation on the state of our team. Wouldn't we so much rather have a 20-year-old, a 21-year-old blossoming player that is very excited to get into the lineup this next season?
I would have, if it was up to me, I may have given the SKC2 MVP award to somebody else who was younger, like Ethan Bryant.
Oh, yeah. That's a good shout.
I think Lucas Rosa is a good choice, but I think Ethan Bryant was up there. Natty, Mekadish, the center back, and also Seba Cruz really had a good start to the season, kind of faded a little bit, but he was really valuable throughout the season. He put in a ton of minutes, got a couple of goals.
You said Natty.
So I think there's a lot of those.
You said Natty. Is that Natty Clark?
Yes.
Who was
I already talked about him. I was just using the reference.
And then Sporting Wichita won the Sporting Club Network member. I can't comment on that one at all. I have no children.
I feel like, Sporting Brookside, we got robbed. We got the Hornets, the STP Turtles, the Dinos. I don't know how you can compete with that, but I suppose Wichita,
we'll let it slip.
You got to give it to them sometime.
Yeah.
Okay, final thoughts on the 2023 Sporting KC Club Awards.
I still don't think they should do this before the end of the season.
Agreed.
I think if we send a correspondent next year, it needs to be somebody better than Robert, who gave us not nearly enough fashion detail.
Oh.
Like not telling us who was wearing what,
I'll give you
getting beat at skee-ball.
I'll do a full red carpet. Oh my gosh, we should actually do that though. That's actually not that bad of an idea.
Okay, David, there's a lot of black besides Roger. Roger stood out, so that's why I talked about Roger.
Cody, you and I can wear our tuxedos.
Yes.
And we'll make a game of it.
And Thad will be the paparazzi. Just bring multiple cameras, Thad. Yes. Just run very quickly back and forth, screaming at Lola Bonta to turn around and smile for the camera.
Introducing Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Icon of the Seas, the ultimate family vacation. The ultimate 6 slides, 8 neighborhoods, 0 compromise vacation. The ultimate never done that, can't wait to do it vacation. The ultimate chillin' by a different pool every day of the week vacation. This is the Icon of Vacations. Icon of the Seas, arriving in 2024. Book today. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
Okay. let's move along to, let's talk about the current. Season is complete, Thad. It is finally done. It's officially
currently
over.
done.
They are currently done. Are you and Sperry going to be doing a podcast or an end of the season wrap up, or would you like to give your thoughts here for us?
Oh, we will be doing, but I don't think that's something I can't at least devote a couple minutes to.
Tease it.
I think there is a lot of questions that the current management ownership have to answer, but the season was derailed quite a bit by the coaching change, which I don't have a problem with the coach. I just think the change threw them into, we're going to play one style to now we're going to play another style, which didn't necessarily always bode well or, turn out well. But
not that the first style was working that well either, though.
It's a style that worked the season before when they went on a 13-game unbeaten streak and went all the way to the final. And they were seriously on a lack of players when that style wasn't working in the first 3 games. And they made so many I don't want to say mistakes with players they signed, but when you sign a bunch of players that never even appear for the team, and they don't necessarily take up roster spots because they're on season-ending injuries or D45s or whatever they classify them as. But even ones who are fully on the roster, like Vanessa DiBernardo, Morgan Gautrat, played 12 games. One played like 5 games, 6 games, and then that was it. They've both been out for the last third of the season with concussions. Let's see, knee problems were Sporting's bane there for a while, and concussions was Currents. They have said like 4 players on concussion this last month. It seems like it's just been a huge struggle in that regard. So having the better free agents that they signed not being available, with the exception of Dabinia, really hurt them down the stretch. And then I think we will see a new coach in a week or 2.
Oh yeah,
One
that's
interesting
Go, Vlad, go, Vlad, go, Vlad, go.
One interesting thing that came out of my talk with Lo was how concerned she is about not being protected for the expansion draft. What are your thoughts there, Thad?
Yeah, I don't know if she will be or not, because as much as I like Lo as a player, in theory they have more talented players on the team. But again, so many of them didn't play. So one thing about Lo is she rarely misses a game. She gives it her all. She does enough of the slight dark arts that players need.
Yeah.
But she's, and this is not a knock on Lo, but she's not like going to be the most talented player out there. She's not going to be the most creative or the fastest or any of that. But, you always need a player like Lo on a team.
She's clever and feisty.
Yep.
So 2 teams coming in. They are
Utah and Bay Area. I don't know what their actual name is. So.
Are they both singular names?
Well, Utah will be the Royals again, I'm pretty sure.
Royals, okay. Plural.
Yeah. And Bay Area, don't know what their name's going to be.
Sounds like another water team.
Isn't it just Bay FC?
It could be. I just haven't paid any attention to them. They did name a coach, though.
According to their website, bayfc.com.
I'll take your word.
It might be Bay FC.
Could be.
Okay. Well, close that chapter on the current sad season. And we'll keep an eye out for a new coach that might be coming here soon, according to Thad. Thad, another one. The Comets schedule has been released. It's about time for the blue turf again.
It is. The MASL is always weird in how they schedule things. Major Arena Soccer League, for those who don't follow it closely. But Comets get a rare start at home versus Milwaukee, then St. Louis. Couple games on the road, couple games at home, game on the road, couple games at home, and then like 7 games on the road. They're actually playing Western Division. Their Comets are in the East Division. They're playing some of the guys in the Western Division more than they're playing the ones in the East.
So they do like a little road trip where they travel for a while?
Yeah. They're going to be in Mexico for like 3 straight games. Monterrey twice, Chihuahua.
I'm surprised that's not like the norm. I would think for a league like that, there would be a lot of that.
Well, they do a lot of travel and play like a Friday, Sunday, sometimes Friday, Saturday. So that isn't unusual.
So when they're traveling, I mean, are these like chartered? I mean, not chartered flights, but are they flying? Are they on a bus?
Oh, they gotta be on a bus.
What's travel like in the Arena League?
Gotta be a bus some of the time, right?
Some of the times it is a bus. So like playing against St. Louis, it's a bus. When Wichita was in the league, it was a bus. And Milwaukee will probably vary a little bit. Sometimes a bus, sometimes a plane. I've heard they actually assigned a person that has their own plane though. So I don't know if that will happen or not, man. They signed a goalie that has like 1 million followers because he's actually like super rich.
Ooh, there you go. That's good exposure for the team. I like this.
Yeah, he played in Florida along with Zach Reggett and Chad Vandegrift, and he has like millions of followers. And
Reggett's bringing his friends over, huh? Okay, I like this. Yeah. Let's make a super team on the blue turf.
That's what they're working on. And then they have a new coach, Stefan Stokic, who was the assistant coach, former player. Nobody has announced whether or not Leo Gibson will be returning, but I've heard he's been in the kick-around practices, so we will see. But I do have a pod out there interviewing Stefan Stokic that's out there in the normal feed, so if you're interested, go listen.
All right. Any final thoughts to wrap us up for the week before we get to decision day? Are all you guys rooting for the team to make the playoffs?
Yes.
Yes.
I just think, guys, overall that Sporting, just the team belief, the team feel right now, I think really is a positive one, and I think they're going to leave it all on the field, and I think that's going to be a positive result.
All right, you made me feel a little bit better about it, and I'm not even going to go to Thad. I see him warming up. He wants to say something.
You don't even think Minnesota has that belief in their own team?
See? Come on, Thad.
They fired a coach just to help their team. They got to win in LA. Of course, it's just LA, but yeah, they got to win.
Okay, now that's one side of you. You always have the both sides here. So you gave that one. So now build us back up here. Give us some optimism to close the show out.
But it is at home.
Yes.
Vermees is good with finals.
Yes.
And it's one of the last chances for guys like Espinoza and Zusi to go deep in the playoffs. So they will put everything on the line if they can.
All right. You heard it here first. Morning.
Don't seem so tough. And 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin. Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking.